So I'm going to ask all of you a question. It's a rhetorical question because I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove the conventional doctrine to be absolutely false. So what I did was, as I typed in Christianity claims the Old Testament is abolished. All right, so AI Overview says Christianity does not claim the entire Old Testament is abolished. Rather, it teaches that, as they say, Jesus Christ fulfilled the law, transitioning believers from the old covenant to the new covenant. But when you look down here, as they say, the relationship between the Old and New Testaments is highly nuanced. All right, and so the first bullet point here is fulfillment over abolishment. And they use the word Jesus, which is not his name, and his name means everything. His name is Yehoshua, not Jesus. Explicitly stated in not Matthew, but Mattityahu 5 verse 17, that he came not to abolish the Torah or the prophets, but to fulfill them. Now, this is how they perverted his words with this next ending of the sentence, bringing their intended meaning to completion. That's false. And I will show you why it's false, because right here in Christians' own book that they claim for themselves, it says that's not true. Right here. Revelation 10 and verse 7, but in the days of the voice of the seventh messenger, when he shall begin to sound the mystery of not God, not Deus, not Dios, but Jehovah, should be completed. In the days of the voice of the seventh messenger, when he shall begin to sound. Now, here's a question for you. Has that voice sounded? Without a doubt, every Christian, as they say, will agree, no, that it has not. Therefore, then, well, wait, hold on. When we will complete this verse, as he declared to his servants the prophets. What prophets? Well, one of them is Zechariah or Zechariah. Right here. He is one of the prophets. Now, so there will be a great war. Where is it? So, rejoice greatly, daughter of Zion. Shout, daughter of Jerusalem. Behold your king, your Melech. Now, the word Melech, I'm trying to pronounce it right. It's very important to understand what this means. It is the king and or the king's royal. It also can be the crown prince. Having salvation, lowly riding upon an ass, upon a colt of a foal of an ass. Now, this event occurred. So what are we talking about? I will cut off the chariot from Ephraim and the horse from Jerusalem. Now it says horse. I want you to understand that is also a bird. Birds, like warbirds. How is he going to do this? And he will speak shalom to, or he's going to offer shalom to the Gentiles. Well, we know what happens when he offers them shalom. You'll see right here in the next few verses. And his dominion shall be from sea to sea, from the river unto the ends of the earth, from the great river Euphrates until the land ends. Now, if you read the book of Revelation, you will see that there was no more Mediterranean Sea. It says no more sea. So that means his reign will extend all the way to the Atlantic Ocean. But that's another whole subject here. As for you, the blood of the covenant, I have set forth your prisoners out of the pit where there is no water. What prisoners? What prisoners is he talking about? Return to the stronghold, you prisoners. Even this day I declare, I will render double unto you. Well, there is a chapter in the book of Revelation where he says concerning the great whore, says he's going to render double, reward her double unto her according to her works, as she reward her as she rewarded you. So, who is this great whore he's speaking of? And who is this that's going to be recompensed double? We will continue here. When I bend Yehuda and filled the bow. So he's going to bend Yehuda as a bow and fill the bow with Ephraim, or in Ephraim, in the north country. Fill the bow with Ephraim. Ephraim will be like arrows, and raised up your sons, O Zion, against your sons, O Greece. Now look, remember, King James Version is needs constant watching and probing with Strong's Concordance. Against your sons Greece, and set or place the sword, or set the sword of what? Gabor. What does he mean by that? The champion, the great one. Okay, let's continue. Or I don't. Okay, see here. So it's going to be Yehuda versus the sons of Greece. Now, let's continue. Yehovah either shall be seen or shall see the arrows going forth like lightning, and Yehovah Elohim, or Adonai Yehovah shall blow the shofar. You see that? Shofar. What did we just read? This. He's going to blow the shofar and walk in the storm of this. It says Taman. Now, what is Taman? From Yemen. It means south. What is south of Israel? Yemen. Well, you know where Yemen is, and you know who is attacking Israel right now, or who is a part of the Iranian attack on Israel. Okay, so it's Yemen. Now, so while there are storms in Yemen, and he's going to be walking down there to do something, Jehovah of hosts will defend and devour and subdue with stones, and they will drink and make a noise with wine, and they will be filled like the bowls at the corner of the altar. Jehovah Elohim shall save them in that day, not as the flock of his people. He will save the flock of his people in that day, for they shall be the stones of a crown lifted up as a sign upon his land. Upon his land. Well, we know this is speaking about the people of Israel. We know that because this is prophecies against Israel's enemies. All of this is. Okay? Now, we read here, it is going to be the sons of Zion against the sons of Greece. Well, who is Greece? Greece is Yavan, son of Japheth, or Japheth, as they say. Okay? The sons of Greece. Okay. Ancient Greece is called the cradle of Western civilization because it created foundational ideas in ancient Greece. What were these ideas? Democracy, philosophy, and science. That is Western civilization today. Okay? Now, let's go further. You see the same thing here. Founders of democracy, as they say, right? Widely recognized as the cradle of civilization, means they brought forth Western civilization as a son. Now, who comes after Greece? When the Roman Empire conquered, it conquered Greece, Rome adopted and preserved Greek culture, eventually spreading these ideas across the Mediterranean, Europe, and broader Western world. This is then, the sons of Greece, is the Roman Empire. Okay? Against your sons, O Greece, Yavan, or Yavan. Now, who then is Yavan, right? And we see that it is the fourth grandson of Japheth, and fourth son of Japheth and grandson of Noah. And Alexander the Great is literally referred to as the king of Yavan, or the king of Greece. Okay? Now look at here. According to Genesis 10, verse 4, Yavan was the father of 4 sons, whose lineages are heavily associated with Mediterranean Aegean regions. Elisha, associated with the Aegean islands and the coastal areas, such as Elis in Greece. Tarshish, often linked to the ancient city of Tarsus in Asia Minor, or a seafaring port in Spain. That the latter would be correct. Kittim, traditionally linked to Cyprus, particularly the ancient city of Kition. Now, I want you we're going to go back to Kittim, because we're going to find out today that the Romans are literally, not figuratively, but literally the sons of Yavan, or Greece. Dodanum or Rodanum, believed to refer to the inhabitants of the island of Rhodes. Now we go to the next one. Okay, sons of Japheth. Kittim. We just read about that. The son of Yavan, or Greece. According to the Roman Jewish historian Flavius Josephus and his Antiquities of the Jews, the descendants of Kittim colonized the island of Cyprus and subsequently pushed into Italy, becoming the progenitors of the Romans and the Italians. Yavan as the father of Kittim. Yavan is historically associated with the Greeks, Ionians, because Roman culture. And there you have it. This is difficult to dispute. I'm bringing you evidence here, folks. So we know then that the Romans are the sons of Greece. It is the Romans and Yehuda that are going to be fighting this great war, where Jehovah will be seen over his people when the day he blows the shofar. And it will be, I believe this one will be the sixth shofar, because if we read this carefully, it says, but in the Revelation 10 and verse 7, in the days of the voice of the seventh messenger, when he shall begin, or wait a minute, about to sound. That means this happens at the end of the sixth shofar sound. And when this shofar sounds here, that is when all Israel will be gathered up already back home. And then the Roman Empire is going to come to invade. Well, you will say that the Roman Empire doesn't exist today. Oh, yes, it does. It exists in the form of something. Okay? Once again, Yoel 3. Here in Zechariah, it says right here, did I miss something? Well, anyway, I've lost my spot here. So this also is talking about Yoel 3. It says, go and gather all the Gentiles and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will judge them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the Gentiles and parted my land. Then he confronts Tyre and Zidon and Gaza. This literally, Plesheth is Gaza. It says so right there, a territory in the South Mediterranean coast of Israel. That's Gaza. It says to them, the children of Yehuda and the children of Jerusalem you sold to the Greeks. Here we go again with the Greeks. And so that they might remove them far from their border. I will raise them out of the place where you have sold them to, out of the Roman Empire, out of Greece, and render your recompense upon your own head. I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hands of the children of Yehuda, and they will sell them to the Sabians, to the Africans, to the people afar off, for Jehovah has spoken it. Proclaim this among the Gentiles. Prepare war and wake up the mind. This is going to cause the sons of Greece to become furious. And let all the men of war draw near, and let them come up, ascend. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, and let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves, come down. come in, invade. Assemble yourselves and come in. Invade, all you Gentiles, and gather yourselves together round about, and your Gabor, your champion, will descend. Come down, descend from Yehovah. Okay? So this is when the shofar is about to sound. And when it sounds is right here. Because the sun and moon be darkened, that is the sixth shofar sound. Okay? But when this one right here, Yehovah shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem. Yes, it's Yehovah. You see it right there. But Yehovah will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. Says he's going to cleanse the blood of the Jewish people clean. For Yehovah dwells in Zion, and Yehudah shall dwell forever, and Jerusalem from generation to generation. Okay? Now, who is this great whore? Babylon is fallen, after all these things, I saw another messenger come down from the sky, having great power, and the earth was lit with his glory. This is after the seventh shofar sounded, I do believe, yes. And he cried mightily with a loud voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird, including war birds. For all the Gentiles, not the Jews, all of the Gentiles have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her luxury. And I heard another voice from the sky saying, Come out of her, my people. That would be Israel. Because the words of the prophets are not finished yet. We just read that. Revelation 10, verse 7. That you be not partakers of her. Who is her? We're going to find out who her is. Sins that you receive not of her. Plagues, for her sins have reached unto the sky, and Jehovah has remembered her iniquities. Do unto her as she did to you, and do it unto her double, according to her works in the cup, which she has filled, fill to her double. How much she has glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give to her. For she said in her heart, I sit as a queen, am no widow, I shall see no sorrow. Therefore her plagues shall come in one day, death, mourning, famine, and she will be utterly burned with fire. For strong is Jehovah Elohim who judges her. Now, let's see. All right. Drunken. Is it here? Right. Okay. So here I will continue with where I was going. Now, I want to show you something here. This is, once again, as they say, New Testament doctrine. So, this is the woman at the well. Yochanan, not John. The woman said unto him, Sir, give me this water that I thirst not, neither come here to draw. And not Jesus, because his name absolutely matters, and the name is Yehoshua. I don't care what you people say. His name is a Hebrew name. That was given to him by the Abba himself, and he named Yehoshua after himself. Because Yehoshua means Jehovah is salvation. Now, Yehoshua said unto her, Go call your husband and come here. And the woman answered and said, I have no husband. Yehoshua said unto her, You have well said, I have no husband. For you have had 5 husbands, and he whom that is now you have now is not your husband. In that you speak the truth. The woman said unto him, I perceive that you are a prophet. Then she says, Our fathers have worshipped in this mountain, and you say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. And Yehoshua said unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour comes, and it did. That hour was the year 70 on the Roman calendar, where you shall neither in this mountain nor at Jerusalem worship the Abba. You worship what you know not. We, as in the Jews, know what we ourselves worship, for salvation is, it says, of the Jews. But what does this word really mean? If we scroll down here, ek, a preposition written ex before a vowel, properly out from and to the Jews. So salvation comes out of Jews and it goes to the Jews. It is one of the most under-translated and therefore mistranslated Greek prepositions, often being confined by the meaning of the word by, but not to, you see. So it means salvation is not only by the Jews, but it's also to the Jews. But the hour has come, and now is, that the true worshippers shall worship the Abba in Ruach and in the truth. For the Abba seeks such to worship him. Jehovah is a Ruach, and they that worship him must worship him in Ruach and in truth. So, you cannot replace his name, because that would be turning the truth into a lie. You cannot replace the name of Yehoshua to Jesus, because that would be turning the truth into a lie. But most importantly, you cannot convert the name Yehovah into God, into Deus, nor into Dios. You have to worship him in truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. You've got to change. He's not changing for you. He's not changing his name for you, just because you don't like it. Now, so, going back to do unto her as she did unto you. The phrase ecclesia stomping on Synagoga describes an anti-Semitic visual motif from the medieval Christian art representing replacement theology, supersessionism, which all Christians to this day including the JWs. All of them. All of them practice supersessionism. It features Ecclesia, a triumphant crowned woman representing the church, the Christian church, standing over and literally crushing Synagoga, a defeated, blinded figure representing Judaism. Now, it's very important to remember this as I go to, here is a picture that here is the thumbnail that I put on one of my videos, where there is Ecclesia with a golden cup in her hand. What did we just read about this golden cup? And we see Synagoga laying on the ground, blindfolded. And this Ecclesia stomping on Synagoga. So what we have here is the Christian church standing over and literally crushing Synagoga. Now, remember, it says, do unto her as she did unto you. Okay. Well, we just read it somewhere. Okay, so I don't want to get too distracted. All right. So what we're going to do is literally crushing her. Okay. This right here says literally crushing Synagoga. The Christian church was doing this. Let's just look and see what Daniel 7 says. In verse 19, then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was different from all the others, exceedingly dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, and his nails are of brass, which devoured and broke in pieces, and tread down the residue, the remainder with his feet, and of the 10 horns that were of the head, and of the other which came up, before which the 3 fell. I did extensive videos on that, and some not that distant past fell, even that horn that had eyes and a mouth that spoke great things. We all know that this is speaking of the papacy right here, which was more stout than his fellows. And I beheld that same horn made war with the Kodesh, and prevailed against him, until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the Kodesh, Kaddish, I should say, of the Most High. I did a video extensively on what the word Kaddish means. It is reference to the Jews. And the time, therefore, came that the Jews possessed the kingdom. Now, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be different from all kingdoms, and shall eat and devour the whole earth, and tread it down, and shatter it into pieces. And that's treading it down with its feet. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings which shall arise, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be different from the first, and shall subdue 3 kings, and it shall speak great words against the Most High. And I showed you where the Catholic Church spoke great words against the Most High, and I showed you where Martin Luther, the father of the entire Protestant Church, spoke horrific blasphemies against the Most High. And the video is just a few videos back. And shall wear away the Kodesh of the Most High. Now, we know then that the church literally depicted this in their foul image right here, as they themselves, the church. Now, so I typed in Ecclesia walking on Synagoga. You are likely referring to the medieval artistic motif of Ecclesia in Synagoga, which personifies the Christian church Ecclesia and the Jewish faith Synagoga in many prominent European cathedrals, these two figures were juxtaposed to visually depict a theological concept of supersessionism, the medieval belief that Christianity had replaced Judaism as they say, God's chosen people. Folks, I'm providing you with evidence that Christianity is fornicating with the Roman Empire and therefore becomes a part of the Roman Empire. Therefore, guilty of all the sins of the Roman Empire, past, present, and future. Now look, Ecclesia portrayed by as a triumphant, majestic, and upright queen. Okay, I sit as a queen. Right here. She says in her heart, I sit as a queen. Now, it says, reward unto her as she rewarded unto you, double unto her, double according to her works in the cup which she has filled, give to her double. So, we go back to this cup that Ecclesia has, so representing the so-called, as they say, blood of Christ. Now, drunken, is it here? Right here. Revelation 17, verse 5, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the Kodesh. That means that the blood that is in her cup is actually the blood of the Jews. And with the blood of the martyrs of Yehoshua, which is Cephas and Paul and others. And we know what happens to this woman. All these have one mind, they shall give their power and strength unto the beast, and these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. Captain. I wonder, I'm still in my mind looking for that particular scripture. I am done with this, I do believe. So, Captain. Unfortunately, I will remember it after I'm done with this video, unfortunately. But I have done a video on this before. I will continue where I was. Okay, so now it says, and the woman that you saw is that great city which rules over the kings of the earth. Well, that would be Rome. Now, we read in another part of the book of Revelation that the Rome becomes three. That would be the original Rome. All you got to do is Google the second Rome. That would be Constantinople. Then Google the third Rome. That would be Moscow. Okay? Now, I want to show you, this is another picture of Ecclesia. This is at Milan's Duomo. Okay? There she is holding up that chalice in her hand with the blood of the Jews. And she is drunk. Ecclesia is the church, folks. Look, just for you hard-headed folks out there, is the church. Yes, the word church comes from the Greek word ecclesia. Okay. So ecclesia now is drunken with the blood of the Jews. I want to show you what happened to my statue. Oh, there it is right here. I want you to take a look at this. Doesn't this look similar to you? So you look at this, the Statue of Liberty, and you look at ecclesia. What I'm saying is this also includes, not exclusive, but includes the United States of America. Folks, please pull your head up out of the dirt. Wipe the crud off your eyes. Pull the potatoes out of your ears and start paying attention to scriptures as they are written. Stop listening to your lying preachers. They just want your money and your children and your wives. That's right. In case you haven't figured it out yet. This is going to happen, and it's yet to come, because the words of the prophets will not be fulfilled until just before the seventh shofar sounds, when this evil bitch is defeated and destroyed in one day.